Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be looking at Season 5 of Sons of Anarchy. Following the ending of Season 4, the Niners, a gang that was established earlier in the show, declare war on Sam Crow. And as a result of the growing conflict between the two groups as well as a series of home invasions that occur this season, Jax is forced to confront Damon Pope, an Oakland kingpin who is a pivotal figure in all of this. So regarding my thoughts on this particular season, while there isn't necessarily a bad season or even a mediocre season of Sons of Anarchy, Season 5 is arguably my least favorite. It's still great, but it's far from the best in my opinion. So let's get into it. So after the incident in the Season 4 finale that led to Veronica Pope's death, the Season 5 premiere does a great job in making it abundantly clear that there will be consequences affecting Sam Crow as a whole for that incident. The episodes are a little bit longer, with some extending beyond an hour. Now personally, I'm not a huge fan of episodes that go beyond the 40 to 45 minute range, but with this season, the writers nailed it, as there are plenty of plot lines and character arcs to fill up all of those hours. Jax is now the president of Sam Crow, and he's finding it to be challenging, especially since they're dealing with Damon Pope of all people. Clay is now officially out of the club and is still recovering from his gunshot wound from Season 4, and after a while you can tell that he's desperate to try and claw his way back in. Tara is struggling to ascend to her role as not only a mother to Thomas and Abel, but as the new queen and matriarch of the club. She also gives Gemma one last chance to be in the lives of Thomas and Abel, and at one point she tries to negotiate with Otto to reverse his testimony against the club. The main antagonist is Damon Pope, played by Harold Perrineau, who I'm sure most people are familiar with from his performances in movies and TV shows such as the first two Matrix sequels, Lost, and a relatively new series called From, which I'll probably check out if it gets renewed for a third season. Pope is a kingpin from Oakland, and while I did admire his tactics in keeping Sam Crow on a leash this season, I found his right-hand man, Augustus Marks, to be slightly more interesting. This season also introduces us to Nero Padilla, played by Jimmy Smits, who I've talked about quite a bit on this channel, having played Senator Bail Organa in the Star Wars franchise and appeared in other TV shows such as Dexter and 24 Legacy. Nero is a pimp, or as he puts it, a companionator, who not only owns his own brothel, but is also the head of a Mexican gang known as the Bizlats. He forms a special bond with Gemma and also forms an alliance with Jax, occasionally offering mentorly advice. And despite being a late addition to the cast, he turned out to be one of the best characters in the whole show. And Walton Goggins makes a special guest appearance as Venus Van Dam, a transgender woman, which in itself may not seem like much now, but back then it was a big deal. The storyline involving a series of home invasions was also pretty cool. You know, it kept you on the edge of your seat and kept you guessing as to who was behind everything, and the answer to that was totally unpredictable. And while the finale was not necessarily the best finale the show has to offer, it did a great job in shifting everything left, right, and center for Season 6. Now, unfortunately, given that we're 5 seasons into the show, it was bound to fall into redundancy one way or another, leading to a lot of rehashed plot points here and there. And Pope was just an okay villain, you know, he wasn't terrible, but he was a bit one note. He retaliated against the club for personal reasons that were understandable, but other than that, I didn't find him to be all that interesting. But Harold Perrineau's performance was still great, don't get me wrong. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Season 5 of Sons of Anarchy. Next time we're going to be looking at Season 6. So thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like the video, share and subscribe, ring the bell, take care, and I'll see you soon.